today, yeah, it's gonna be rapid chess. I'm late joining, so not much hope of winning this tournament, but the goal is to have a lot of interesting, instructive, entertaining games. I'll probably mix up the openings as well. I just opened my channel point redemption queue, and people are able to use channel points to request openings. So all of these are ones that I have not fulfilled yet. I don't know what this means. I have to wait for Hairhaver to clarify. Traxler, Catalan, Evans Gambit. I got a good mix here. So first game, playing a decently high rated player. Let's start with e4, and we'll see what this leads to. So recently, I've been toying with this opening. I think I'll play the c3 Sicilian, also known as the Alapin. It's an opening that made an appearance in the World Cup, at least in a previous round. I know Magnus played this against Gukash, I believe. And then Prague also played this against Argaisi, unless it was like flipped colors. Oh, maybe Argaisi played this against Prague. Opponent's taking time. Yeah, so this basically avoids like the main lines from Open Sicilian. And there's a bunch of moves here for black. The two most common are knight f6 and d5. Oh, Jane Gold asking about the black versus d4 course. One of my goals like coming up is to have a way for pre-orders to take place. But I'm also looking for people to like give feedback. So hoping to have more information coming soon. But it's been taking a lot of work, like more work than initially planned. Opponent's taking a lot of time for move 2. I mean, usually if you play the Sicilian, you should be prepared for this move. So we have e6, and this is likely to... Ooh. Okay, let's take. I was going to say it's likely to transpose into an exchange French. But I think this is going to be a very good version for white. Because whenever d5 is played, I play e5. And if not, I'll just keep developing. I could consider pawn e5 here. Knight d5, we trade. Not sure how great that is, though, for white. So let's develop. And now I could play e5. Or I could just keep developing. I think every move I basically have to consider e5. Like knight d5, we trade. Yeah, the thing about like this structure with black having the double d pawns, eventually d6 will come, and then my pawn e5 will be traded. So let's keep developing. And let's castle. John Tapp says yesterday's stream was incredible. Very competitive tournament. You played strong. I appreciate the words. Yeah, it's kind of a last minute decision to play that tournament yesterday. So I'm inclined to play h3 here because I want to play bishop e3, but I don't want to allow knight g4. And I think that's probably the safest approach, at least. Why are you only international master? Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have any grandmaster norms. Like, there's a very long way to go to get from IM to GM. So, yeah, these days I'm more focused on other things and purely trying to get to the next title. So opponent's playing a lot of quick, kind of solid moves. Might as well play rook e1. Although I could play queen e2, rook d1. Debating how to do this. Could play bishop b1. Maybe bishop b1. Just getting out of the way of the queen and keeping options open. There's a potential idea of queen d3, e5. So h6. Could play queen d2.
Happy 3 months, less than 3. Or actually not, more than 3. I'm confused.
What about equal to 3? Thank you, Cooking Forge. Okay, so d5 is like the most principled move here. And then it leads to some closed position. I'm expecting knight e7. And then... yeah, I'd like to target the squares on the queen side. There's knight a4. b5, knight b6. I'm looking at knight a4, knight d7. How to do this? Let's start with knight a4. Wow, g5. Okay. So knight b6 and bishop b6 are the two moves that come to mind immediately. I mean, there's also potential to sack, but I don't think that works. So one calculation is bishop b6, queen d7. And I want to play rook c7, but there's queen a4, and I'm not trapping the queen. So I could play bishop b6, queen d7, b3. And then after g4, then play rook c7. And the queen's not quite trapped, but after queen b5, then it's trapped. Bishop d3. I think. And there's knight e4 with a counterattack, but then queen e2. Maybe even queen e3. Yeah, this looks really good, because after queen d7, b3, it's very hard for black to stop rook c7. Like, there's no knight e8. The pieces are very clunky for black. Like, pawn defends and knight defends the bishop. Oh, thank you, Killager. Gifting to Mountain Wren. I appreciate that. Is hyperbola chess even chess? It's a different type of chess. At a high level, it's still... yeah, it's still like very important to play good moves over the board. But of course, there's a different strategy. Okay, so what is black's idea? I think I'm winning the queen. Because after rook c7, I'll just play this move. The queen has two safe-looking squares, but neither is actually safe. Queen d8 I take, and then the queen's trapped on its starting square, which is kind of savage. And then, again, queen b5, I played bishop d3. Oh, I also have rook f7. So maybe a choice of which pawn to take. Black could have tried g4 instead of knight g6. Yeah, that was the line I was initially calculating. I still would have played rook c7. And like I think I could have left my knight on f3. So this is a pretty nice opening success. I mean, got the early center, black got a bit passive, and the C file proved to be a big problem for black. I always pay my opponent to resign. Not sure if you can get away with that in like a serious tournament. There has to be something in the rulebook against that.
Almost 4 years.
Wow, Shaquille stand. Happy 46 months. Why do I not recognize that name? Also, Peshka. What's up, Peshka? Thanks for the raid. Shout out to Peshka. Hope you had a good one. I feel like if you've subbed for almost 4 years, I should know that name. Unless you recently changed it. So if you're just joining, life is very good currently. I just played Rook C7. Opponent is tanking. Deciding between two moves that I don't think save the queen. Yeah, so queen d8. Now I have a choice. I can take on f7 or b7. Looks like both cases I'm getting the queen for, or queen and pawn for rook and bishop. So if I take on b7, most likely is take, take, take. If I take on f7, kind of like taking on f7 better. Because that way I don't help black develop. The king's a bit more airy. Oh, and I have knight b6 in the end. Yeah, so take and then knight b6. And can I win more material? Like rook. I can still use the c file to my advantage. I could trade, but the bishop's not really going anywhere. So let's play this. We might see g4. G4 maybe I throw in the check. All right, rook c7. So now the knight and rook are tied down to defending the bishop, which is pinned to the king. Okay, so now the bishop's no longer pinned. I could trade. But I don't think there's any reason to. Maybe queen c3. A simple improving move. I might just be looking to expand with the pawns. Like black seems a bit stuck here. Maybe I could have played queen b4 and gone after the b pawn. Okay, knight f4. I do have to watch out. That is a threat. So bishop d3, g4. Take, take. Let's start with bishop d3. Oh, did I just allow this move? And it should be okay. I may have gotten a little bit complacent. I could take on e5. And how crazy do I want to be? Opponent's definitely fighting. It's maybe a blessing in disguise that I lost the pawn. Because now the bishop can actually have some life. And knight goes back. Now I have like bishop f5. Might as well. Oh, but then the d pawn. Maybe bishop c4. And now I'm threatening knight e5. Takes and then d6. Tactics. I'm also probably threatening to take and then queen f5. Oh, Syncopede says, just got here. What did I miss? Oh, you missed the opening phase of the game. Yeah, I played the C3 Sicilian. It's a new weapon of mine. Got a really good position. Trapped black's queen. Last few moves have been a little bit of damage control for me, but it's still going well. Any tactics? I think I'll just take the bishop. And then invade with the queen. Queen f5. Trying to calculate this. I do have g3 take king h2, g4 queen f5. I see a better line. Okay, so I'm going to start with queen f5. And then after knight f6, I play g3. And if takes, I take, take, and then queen e6 will win the piece. And maybe we'll see this move. Yeah, after the game, I'll catch up with chat. But yeah, we're both getting low on time, so I should put full focus here. Oh, there's another tactic. If takes, 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 I could play knight takes e5 and then like fork all the things. So I imagine black will move back. And then I can play this move. And then maybe black moves back again. But it's nice having the queen. Today I did the Stafford Gambit when my boss asked me why I was late. Is there a real life version of the Stafford Gambit? Okay, can I get away with taking? Probably not. Let's play this move. Being solid. And time is telling the story here. Okay, have some fun, sack the bishop. Okay, I think overall that was a pretty clean game. I did see there was a question, like when I was on the verge of trapping the queen, there was a question about this, this, and then this, which was maybe one attempt, but I mean, I could take the knight or even take and then take. Like there's a line takes, 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 and then all these lines I'm up material. Maybe not up a queen, but up enough. Welcome back to Pizza Racer. I miss bishop e4. Yeah, maybe the conversion could have been better. I made 2 inaccuracies. Queen d2 was inaccurate. It's amazing that the engine like really, really prefers white just out of the opening. Like the center is sometimes a powerful type of advantage. So yeah, queen d2 is maybe a little bit slow. And then later, okay, here there were other ways to win. So, okay, that was a feel-good game. That was the first game of the tournament. I'm trying to raise my rapid rating and break, what's the goal? Break 2650. I think my peak is just below 2700. Thank you, Hire Sweet. Some nice words. First time chat. I strive to be like you when I drive, because I road rage easily. Ah. Yeah, sometimes when you feel like rage is taking over, you just want to take a deep breath. Stay calm. Be grateful for being alive. Okay, so let's play Sicilian. Oops, someone says play Caro-Kann. Too bad I didn't mouse slip. So knight c3. This is either Grand Prix or close Sicilian. I'll play a6, which is one of the maybe lesser common ways to meet knight c3. But the point is to expand quickly on the queen side. Yeah, and this is a position I play with white and with black. And I'm pretty sure I can play d5 right away. Like, there's an interesting trick that after takes, I can play knight f6 and take advantage of the pin. Because ideally, I want to take with a piece on d5 rather than with a pawn. Syncopede says, I'd like to see you angry. No reason to be angry just yet. Especially after that last game. Last game was just pure happiness. Ah, the Sicilian is just a Caro-Kann, but the mouselip variation. More modern name. Wow. That was unexpected. I guess it was hard for white to avoid the trade of bishops. But I'm happy to remove like the main defender of the king side. And it's hard to exploit the light squares though. Like I probably have to complete my own development. Play bishop e7. But I think this is an opening success. Like, really no issues with the position. Things are pretty solid. Ready to castle, play this. I have a little bit more space on the queen side. Question where to put the queen. Maybe b7. The fianchettoed queen. Okay, that move I didn't quite see coming. I have to be careful because if I castle, maybe it's okay, but knight h5 would force g6 and bishop. It just seems like a big headache. But what else do I do? There is actually a really interesting option here. Like initially I wanted to play bishop f6, but that hangs a pawn. So I'm wondering if I can be ultra aggressive. I could play g6 right away, actually. I'm calculating knight d7. I lose the pawn and then bishop f6. That would force queen h6. Because if the queen goes back to g4, I have knight e5 and then knight f3 is coming with like unexpected mating attack. So knight d7, here, here, here. I want to play knight e5, but I don't think it works. I could take on b2 there, but I think that only helps white open the b file. So I think I'm choosing... What am I choosing between? Maybe just g6. That way I stop knight h5. It does look weakening, but I feel like it's necessary.
Hey,
it's Red Pixel. Oh, Red Pixel said earlier they were going to sub with Prime. Holding true to their words. I appreciate that. Yeah, so in that other line, like, I was considering sacking the bishop to get in knight f3. I think the problem was king h1, and then the knight covers g2, so there's no actual mate. So maybe now knight d7. I'm delaying castling. There might be a case where I don't castle. There's also a case where I have knight e5 and life gets really good really quickly. Yeah, I went from being like in debt and facing some kind of eviction to essentially winning the lottery, now having a stable job, about to get married. And knight f3 is guaranteed. Still not over, but... Okay, I weathered the storm of a few difficult moves. Yeah, this is really the dream scenario from a few moves ago. So king f1's coming. And then it's a question, do I actually want to take the rook? Probably. I could start by taking, although maybe it doesn't matter too much. I think white is probably still coping with the shock of what happened to the position. Is Vienna a good opening for a beginner? Yeah, it's completely fine. There's a lot of good openings out there for beginners. Basically, any opening that follows principles that um, you can easily grasp, like where the pieces should go. So knight takes rook. Yeah, I probably should not overthink this. And I'll take here. I guess I should watch out for 96 sacks, but I don't think they work. And here I can castle. I could take on b2 if I want to be greedy. There's also queen h1, forcing king e2. Actually, queen h1, king e2, queen e4. b3. Yeah, let's start with that. The king is just very awkward on e2. The forced bond cloud. Okay, so now I can take on c4. It does force the king back, but I think that's fine. Like, even though the dark squares look weak on the king side, I have the dark square bishop, so very soon, hopefully the bishop can fend off any attackers. Queen also keeps a watchful eye on the e6 pawn. How to introduce chess to a toddler. Might depend on the age. If they're like below the age of 3, I mean, just like having a chessboard and teaching like the names of the pieces, maybe a good start. But I think any age like 4 or higher, like once a toddler like starts knowing how to speak, then chesskid.com is a great resource. Probably the best online resource for teaching like young kids chess. Put a giant poster of Kasparov over their crib. Yeah, or just get suggestions from Twitch chat.
Already 2 babies. I hope you liked Europe. Quack.
Oh, thank you, Lumi. Yeah, Europe was good. Still recovering a little bit, but it was a nice trip. Okay, so white's going all in. I think I can take and play this. Rook f4, rook f7. And there's queen g7 if necessary. Although queen g7, there's like bishop h6. Oh no, bishop h6 is not legal. Bishop is blocked. So I have a choice here. I could also play bishop f6. What to do? This looks like the safest move. Thank you, Adius. The first time Prime. Yeah, I appreciate the Prime subs. For those unaware, if you have Amazon Prime, You can subscribe for free. Easy way to support the channel. Get access to the emotes and ad-free viewing. What age did you start to study chess seriously? It was pretty gradual, but I got my first chess coach when I was 8 years old. I started playing tournaments at 8, and over the years became more serious. Thank you, Abel Aardvark. Happy 2 years to Abel Aardvark. So I'm up a rook here, but I'm a little bit stuck. How to unpin? Like I want to check and then there's queen e2. Maybe queen e2. Because white's also a little bit stuck. Defends the pawn too. Discourages h5. But now what? Queen h5. Queen h5, g4. That's okay. I shouldn't take too much time here. Yeah, I think queen h5 is okay. Like, it's hard for white to generate so much pressure. I guess this move would threaten to trap my queen. Or no, it would just hang a pawn. Yeah, the thing is, I'm not really seeing a clear plan for myself. Like, if white somehow just waits. Like, what's my next... Let's, I guess, start with this. So pawn's not hanging. But then what? Maybe eventually king g7. I was reluctant to put the king on the dark square, but the bishop can't really do any damage. Oh, but now it wants to. So maybe queen back to d1. c4. Opponent offers a draw. I like this idea, c4. The pawn was really just in the way. And then depending what takes. Like queen takes now, I can offer the queen trade. A queen here, I have this.
Hey, ooh, how's it going?
It's going really well. Opponent gifted me a bishop. Welcome back, Nasaki. Thank you, Dr. McBob, gifting to VJ. Also, thank you, Bag of Cans with the lads. Okay, so I'm still pinned a little bit. But yeah, let's play this move. And now f2's under fire. Even though the rook's pinned, it still defends the queen. Okay. That took a bit of work. So I may have like gone a little bit wrong. Like maybe queen b7 was a mistake, although I did want to prevent queen f3. Let's see. Well, queen b7 is one of the best moves. Oh, engine likes castling. But g6 also playable. Yeah, I was calculating this line. This would have been maybe a little bit too fancy and just bad. Because I was excited about this idea. But queen h6 is better for white. And then... yeah, rook e1 was a big blunder. So pretty clean game, I think. Maybe like a small inaccuracy somewhere, but... maybe I could have done better to convert. I think it was always like under control. So 2 inaccuracies. Queen f5. I missed force mate. I missed mate in 8. No, I missed... oh, there was mate in 19 briefly. Queen f1. Oh, d5 was inaccurate. Really? Oh, knight of3 is better here. Huh. So I'm supposed to play... oh, engine just doesn't like d5 in these lines. Prefers d6. Okay. Thank you, Joel Gargus, with the first time prime. And lifestyle coaching. You're in the right place. I like chess too. So played 2 games so far. I won against the Sicilian, and then I won with the Sicilian. Is Scandinavian good for long term against e4 as black? Yeah, it's completely fine opening. At the highest of levels, it's not the most popular.
Dakota.
But not too many opponents will like be able to refute the opening. And a lot of it is idea based. Oh, thank you, Flacadori. Okay, so we have a king's pawn. If knight c6, I probably play Ponziani. Like Ponziani can be very, very effective, especially against players of this rating. It's very direct. Take over the center. There's a lot of subtle traps from this position. And we're following what's probably the most common line. Knight d5 is the best move. I'll play queen b3. And queen b3 is a nice way to just make the knight move again, away from the center. And yeah, this position I think is very easy to play for white. Like the general rule is whenever black moves a d-pawn, we pin the knight. Exert a bit of pressure. Oh, Ponziani was your main weapon against your father-in-law. I hope it went well. So yeah, I'm just completing development. Still have to develop the queen side, but... okay, so up until f6, I think black was playing like very fine moves. f6 has to be a mistake. I'm trying to figure out the best way to punish this. I mean, e6, of course, is a top move on my mind. Like e6, bishop c8, and then d5. Looks pretty bad for black. Yeah, let's go for this. This is very sad if the bishop has to go back to where it came from. And these pawns are going to be so monstrous. Ooh, the counterattack. Yeah, the problem is for black, I take the bishop and the king's in check. So no time to take this bishop. And I could trade. I'm looking for ways to just maximize advantage. Maybe just bishop d3. Although if I trade, queen takes, rook e1. Yeah, let's trade. It feels wrong giving away the light squared bishop with these light square holes. But I like the prospect of initiative here. Because now the king's tied down to defending the bishop's pinned. e6 is still a hole.
Wow.
Wow. Welcome back, Christian Diange. What if he takes rook? Wait, if he takes rook e1? Oh, like earlier. Yeah, there were maybe other options. But it's working out. Oh, I think you know his chess. So I actually want to show the database here because I had this position in a very high level tournament back in 2016 against Grandmaster Priesters in the Netherlands. And we had an interesting battle. I think the best move for black is to play bishop e6, attacking the queen. And then after queen c2, queen d7. And even though black willingly gets pinned, the knight's defended. And then in some cases, black can castle queenside. But this can be a more interesting struggle compared to what just happened. So here, yeah, bishop e7 is probably, or maybe take first. The engine actually still wants bishop e6. So Noah's Chess says, oh, long time since 2020. YouTube subscriber, Twitter photos enjoyer. Oh, you're in the stream for one of the first times. Well, welcome to Twitch. Thanks for being here. Welcome to GM Lucas as well. Watches on YouTube. Yeah, welcome to like the new people or the reasonably new people, also the longtime fans. So played 3 games so far. Staying clean. Trying to provide some lessons with every game. I'll probably end up finishing the tournament. Because I did late join. Joined about 2 hours late.
Good to see you, Eric from Yorkshire, UK.
Oh, good to see you too, Stephen. Appreciate that. Okay, so we have a Queen's Pawn opening. Hey, it's
I'm
Teotwaki.
officially old.
Reaching 40 months. That's still relatively young. Might be old in like dog years though, or dog months. All right, so we have a what is this called? Like a Torre. Resembles a London, but my knight's on e4. So I know Hikaru went through a phase of playing this like pretty recently. And it can get sharp, like queen b6 takes. Do I want to go for the sharp lines? I've played this against Min Lei before too. I've definitely had some bad experiences. Maybe I take first. But then it still allows takes, some trades. All right, let's play queen b6. So I'm looking at takes, knight d2, and then I take here. I'm also attacking the pawns, so this is like one of the more energetic ways of playing for black. I could take on b2. More solid is probably taking on c5 with a knight. Could take with the queen as well. Yeah, the opponent has managed to get me out of opening theory. I think I'll take with knight. Just be solid. Why is knight e4 theory? Generally, knight e4, at least in that specific position, is the best way to try and punish the early bishop g5. And this is actually a very good sign. Queen c1, like purely defensive. I do have to watch out because white is probably wanting to play c4. So I have a few moves to consider. I mean, bishop f5 looks like the most natural. And then c4, e6. There's also f6 if I want to be very ambitious. But I think I should just focus on development. Also free up the c8 square for the rook. Oh, could you go over your American opening study after this game? Well, I have a YouTube video dedicated to the American openings. Which maybe, if you didn't see the video, I definitely go through the study and then try one of the openings. Yeah, I made that study around July 4th in honor of America. All right, so this move looks attractive. I mean, what does white do? There's knight. Oh, there's some crazy lines. So knight b4, knight d4. And then I have the move bishop d3. Oh, I also have bishop c2. Wait, knight b4, knight d4, bishop c2. But then there's castling. And maybe I just move back. It's again a question, like how crazy do I want to be? Let's have some fun. Knight b4. Like c2 is a very clear target. And the reason why I think this is playable, bishop c2. Yeah, let's go for this. So the reason why this should be playable is knight d3 is a threat. When knight takes c2, I win the queen. So I'm expecting castling, and then it's still a bit complicated. Thank you, Raskolnikov. Another first-time prime. Oh, that move I didn't really see coming, but I can take the bishop. Oh, it gets really sharp, though. Okay, so if I take the bishop, it's a choice between taking the bishop or king d8. The take, I fork king f1 here, knight c7 here. And then if takes a knight, I play rook c8. If takes a rook, I play knight d3. I also have, oh wow, I have bishop d3 there. Wait. Okay, so take, knight d3, king e2, I take the queen with check. So king f1. I take the queen, knight c7, king d7, knight a8, and then bishop d3. Because king g1, I windmill. Like king f1, I take the bishop. So after bishop d3, the king has to go back to e1. Do I have knight c2? Knight c2, king d1. Not quite mating. I have either knight e2 or knight takes a1. Knight a1, king c1, f6. Knight c7, e5. Okay, it looks good enough. I do have a choice which knight to move. I'm pretty sure I should move this knight. And I'll be... Oh, that was unexpected. So now I take... Okay, we don't go into any of the crazy like lines that I was just drawing arrows for. But this is a much simpler line. So now I'm up a piece and a pawn. Play this move. Now consolidating. E5 hits two things. I mean, after the game, I'll analyze a little bit. But now it's just a matter of cleaning up. Okay. So, and that got sharp very quickly. And yeah, generally, like this exact move order, I think at a very high level is maybe considered a little bit dubious for white. Even though it's still playable, like it should be equal. There's a funny line, if bishop h4, there's h5. Ideas of trapping the bishop. But after bishop f4, yeah, I played what I think is a most ambitious response. Ah, so f6. I was considering f6. It just felt a little bit slow. I liked developing this bishop. Okay, we'll still get feedback. Knight b4 was a mistake. It looked fun though. And then knight d4. Okay, and then we went into this line. Yeah, so I was calculating king f1, take here, take bishop d3. But simpler is just knight d3. But this line looked cool. Bishop d3, and then here. And then I think I was going to take the rook and then play f6. Okay, e6 is better, or e5. Okay, that was a fun game. Yeah, I wasn't awake for the World Cup final, but I saw the games. It was fun to watch. I know like a whole country was rooting for Prague. But huge kudos to Magnus for making it through the tournament, especially like dealing with food poisoning towards the end. Okay, we move on. Playing this person, and we have a bird opening. So I've gone through different phases of what I play against a bird, but I think I'll stick with like the most solid, one of the most traditional approaches is d5 and then fianchetto with g6. Oh, but white's signifying that they want a stonewall. So against a stonewall, what I like to play is this setup, like basically a reverse queen's gambit. Oh, did I spoil the result? I assumed everyone knew by now. Sorry about that. Although people have been talking about it a little bit in chat. Okay, so c5. So I basically start with this setup. And then most often the bishop will develop before I play e6. I could play bishop f5 first. Actually, bishop f5 looks even more logical. And now e6. So this is a useful idea to keep in mind. There's cases where black will play bishop g4 and then later play bishop f5, like when white gets the bishop to d3 first. But the point of this setup is I'll be very happy with the exchange of bishops. Okay, so we see knight e5. I'm pretty sure I can just castle here. Yeah, from a long-term, like strategic point of view, this bishop is the big problem for white in playing the stone wall. And when we trade light squared bishops, then there's a lot of light square holes for white. And not only that, but I have a pawn on f7, so this knight is not technically an outpost. And I can play this move and prepare f6. So all of these moves are basically still within the realm of opening preparation. Question which pawn to take with. Probably this pawn. Although, maybe a close call. Actually, the more I'm looking at it, the more I'm liking this pawn. Yeah, I undoubled f pawns, prepare f6. Man, all these spoilers in chat. Congrats to Ding. Magnus beating Anand in the World Championship. I was thinking about this move, but it gets forked. So let's play this move. And we are trading down a bit. Like after takes, most of the minor pieces will have been traded. But it's still kind of a big imbalance between the bishops. Okay, so h5 doesn't trap the knight because knight f2. But now I can still make some steady progress. I don't think this move has an immediate threat, but it's useful in connecting the rooks. Applies pressure here and here. And there's this lingering tension between the pawns, and I think now is the time to take. If white takes with e-pawn, then I have a defended pass pawn. But I do give the e3 square. I could play a6 and then queen b5. It's kind of interesting. Let's try this. Spoiler, Eric wins at move 27. Okay, I have 12 more moves to fulfill your spoiler. But with queen b5, I'm actually going for like a longer endgame grind. It's not the type of move to try and win quickly. Oh, but white wants to keep queens on the board. Okay. So I actually don't mind seeing this. Wait a minute, I just missed h5. I moved a little bit too quickly there. h5 would have trapped the knight. Maybe could have won earlier than move 27. We'll see if the opponent deals with it or not. Don't think they did. I mean, knight h6, I have to be a little bit careful, but it's a free piece. Like here, take rook f7, and queen h4. So maybe I play like rook somewhere, and then queen e8 will defend the pawn. If I want to be really fancy, I could play king h7 here. But then, yeah, then it's maybe not so simple. So let's take. Yeah, white should have probably taken the pawn. Because now I can play this and defend. And it seemed like white's been the one wanting to attack on the king side, but very soon, I'm probably going to be the one with a bigger attack, like having the g-file. So it first makes sense to defend the pawn. It's the only way to do so. If g4, I have rook g8, I think. Six more moves. What's my prize if I win on move 27? I think white's going to survive longer, though.
Hey Eric,
Hey.
bought this for my friend's birthday.
Oh, nice.
Could you give him a shout out in your best Dutch? His name is Jesper.
In your best what? In your best Dutch. I don't speak I don't speak Dutch, but hello to Jesper. I hope you enjoy the merch. I'm not sure what was purchased. If it was a mug or shirt or hoodie. Oh, Jesper. As opposed to Nosper. Okay, Jesper. Yeah, enjoy. Thanks for being a fan. If wait, I have to focus here. 3 more moves. Queen's about to get trapped. Maybe. Maybe not. Okay, let's start with this. I'll double up. That was pretty good pronunciation. Oh, happy birthday, Jesper. I just saw the first part of the message. I hope the merch arrives in time for your birthday. Okay, let's play this move. If takes, then I checkmate on move 27. It's not happening though. But okay, this is full domination now. White has basically no moves. But that's a move. So I could take, and then trade everything, and then... yeah, there's a lot of ways to win this. I think we'll simplify. Happy birthday in Dutch is Gafelisi-turd. Gafelisi-turd to Jesper. Oh, wait a minute. I just... okay, if takes, I have this or this. Wait, does that mean congratulations? Not sure who to trust now. Oh dear. Galukici Verja Dog is happy birthday. Yeah, there's some countries I go to where I don't even attempt to like pronounce things. Like I don't want to offend people. But in Spanish I can like decently pronounce. Feliz cumpleaños. Feliz Navidad. All right, so what's the quickest way to win? Queen f3. I have h3. You just take on f4. And then knight e3 coming. Yeah, white survived long after move 27. Any funny mates? And it's almost stalemate. It's actually kind of crazy. Need the knight to be on g2. Yeah, my technique here is not to be admired. but it's something. Okay, we might have a cool checkmate. Okay. Got the funny knightmate. Galuk Ighaverjardag. I don't think I have much promise of speaking fluent Dutch ever. Okay, hopefully that was an instructive game, like how to fight the stone wall. Like this setup with bishop f5 and e6, it's pretty pleasant for black. And then whenever white brings a knight in, then the eventual f6 is quite strong. I did miss h5 at one point, but found it the next point. Okay, I'll dedicate that game to Jesper. Moving on. So played 5 games so far. Staying clean. Approaching the final hour of the tournament. Play the Dutch next time. It's actually a cool idea is to play the openings that my previous opponents played and then show how to actually play them. Playing Pupper. What move to play? Sticking with e4. This is like my new favorite opening, Alapin Sicilian. So d6 is not the most common move, but definitely a playable move. And the first game of the tournament resembled a pretty similar line. I'm going to play h3 here, because I don't want to allow bishop g4 in the event of knight f3. Okay, I could play a4. I think I will play a4. Like the strategy here is to be very restrictive. So I'm preventing b5. Just completing development, controlling the center. e5 might be coming at some point. A knight b6. Knight b6 might signify that black wants to play d5. I mean, I could play a5 and just chase the knight back. I'm trying to figure out if it makes sense to allow d5 first. Which maybe it does. Yeah, maybe just bishop e3. Because d5 and then e5. Do I want to play a5? Have to calculate knight c4. Yeah, maybe that's not the best. So maybe queen c3 or queen b3 first. There's also knight d2. It's a very pleasant position. Just a question how to try and maximize advantage. I like this move. This is multi-purpose. Restricts knight c4 and also unleashes f-pawn. Probably f4 now. Although black maybe is preparing this. So I could play b3. Queen b3. Yeah, black's been playing really quickly. So I'm looking at queen b3, rook c8, a5, knight c4, and then take. Or maybe I take first with bishop and then take. Looks pretty good. Yeah, these pieces are not the most harmonious. Calculating knight c4, take, take. Okay, we'll get a similar line because a5, knight c4, take, take, take. Rook b8, take, take, take. Hitting the rook, preventing rook b6. Yeah, it feels wrong to give away the bishop like this, but I'm winning a pawn. So position is transforming a little bit. d5 might be a threat now. Oh, goodbye to Teotihuacan. Maybe already gone now. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, let's take. Oh, wait a minute. Knight c7 does not trap the queen. I have to be careful though. So queen takes, takes, knight c7. But in all these cases, I have queen at c6. And if rook c2, I have rook c1. So up 2 pawns now. Learner is asking, how do you remember so many names? I'm actually very bad with remembering names of humans. But sometimes names of chess openings or just opening moves, there's more logic that can allow me to remember them. And when it comes to memorizing chess variations, very often it's about not like purely memorizing the moves, but understanding the flow. So to be in a spot where you can figure it out, even if you forget it. I like knight b6 here. Just an outpost. Still wanting to play d5 eventually. After the tourney, maybe human benchmark. Yeah, the last time I did human benchmark, it took like 4 hours. I did the verbal memory, which is like my strongest test. I forget my score, but it was a long stream. So black wants to use a square. I really don't have too many moves here. I guess the main thing I should be considering is queen b7, which should prevent knight d5. I don't think the queen can really be exploited there. And there's knight a8, but then d5. Let's play queen b7. Because initially I was set on playing queen d3. But I like this a bit more. I am Rosen can also be read as I'm Rosen. It's a fair point. Yeah, it's a very ambiguous name. Can you play ready gambit? What is a ready gambit? It's like knight f3 c4. I think it's like one of the more solid gambits. Okay, so queen c6 is looking nice. And the last several moves have been responding to black threats. Like, my queen's been getting kicked around a little bit. Well, first my knight, then my queen. Now my rook. Okay, so... Question where to put the rook. Thinking d1. Like, there's actually nice harmony here with the pieces, because the pawns control dark squares, knights control light squares. Do I have a tactic? d5. So if takes, I hit the queen. Yeah, d5 looks crushing. And on top of that, I'm threatening bishop c5 to fork the rooks. Also want to unleash my rook on d1. Can you wrap? Not really. I can rhyme. I could rhyme, and then if you put a beat to it, maybe it can turn into a rap. But I'm no Harry Mack. Can you play the Chad opening next game? This is supposed to be instructive rapid chess, so I think I'm going to stick with like real openings. But yeah, maybe in a future stream I'll play around a bit more. Can I take the bishop on move 22? My knight was pinned. Oh, I could have taken with queen though. Yeah, that's a fair point. I didn't even consider that. Wait a minute. Okay, so probably want to take with knight. I mean, there's bishop c5 right away, but I think I'll take with knight because yeah, I'm threatening to win the queen. And threatening to win the knight. And threatening to win the rook. And after takes, I'm still threatening to win the queen. And still threatening this as well. I mean, there is queen e8. Probably the best try. But queen e8, I have this move. Trapping the rook and hitting the bishop. Oh, there's a funny line. There's a line where I sacrifice a rook. So queen e8, knight d7, I get skewered. But then I play knight f6 with a fork. After takes, I lose a rook. But then bishop h6 is crushing. Maybe not force mate because queen e5 takes and then f6, but then I take and then take. So none of that happens. And now it's a question how I want to win material. Well, I guess if I play knight d7, I allow this. So if I play this, there's rook b2, and I can't take the rook because I get mated.
In Rosen.
Welcome back to Ivan. I shouldn't take too long here. I'm just leaning towards a solid move. I can improve my one piece that hasn't moved yet. And my arm is sore. My arm's been in like the same spot, just holding onto the mouse. If you can drink one variant of herbal tea for the rest of your life, what would it be? That's a tough question. I went to there is this like cafe and crepe place in Switzerland. And they had this amazing tea. It was called the Eight Treasures. There's 8 different ingredients. And one of the ingredients, I kid you not, was Rosen. Which I didn't even know was a thing you could put in your tea. I'll have to find a... I took a picture of the menu. How about E6 here? Take. That looks pretty good. I don't really want to open the F file for black, though. So maybe rook d7 first. Oh, that hangs a pawn. Oh, queen c3 trap. No, not trapping the rook. Let's play rook d4. Solid move. Almost trapping the black queen. There's queen e7. Okay, so I'm hitting the bishop, preventing bishop e7, and preparing this as well. So now I can take the bishop. Definitely took some patience to convert this position. Oh, Rosen is roses. Yeah, so I guess maybe one of the ingredients was just roses. Let's see if I can find this photo. A lot of photos to go through. Anyway, I think that was a pretty smooth game. Quickly check the engine review. I took a lot of pictures of menus. So I was like using my phone to translate. Where is it? Here we go. Here's the menu. Yeah, here's a tea with the Rosen. I'm not sure if this was herbal. I don't think this was herbal because there's some green tea. But it was pretty good. 8 treasures. Okay, back to tournament. Wait. Let's look at the thing. I made one blunder. Queen b3 was a blunder. So I missed a5. Wow. Black had bishop takes e5. Tactic. I didn't even see this was an idea. Takes and then d4. I should have sensed danger given that there's fork potential and discovered attack potential. Wow. Okay. But apart from that, it was pretty clean. Okay, new game. So I'm playing a mix of like different ratings. I've been playing a lot of opponents above 2000 and a few in like this 14 to 1600 range. So what opening to play? Someone earlier really wanted Caro-Kann. I think it was Pizza Racer. Maybe multiple people. So playing Caro-Kann, we have a exchange variation. This is maybe one of the more common variations at like a lower level. Like simple to play for white. Now, we basically have what's called a Carlsbad structure, where black's missing a c-pawn, white's missing an e-pawn. You can get this from different openings. Probably most commonly like London or Queen's Gambit. So the goal is to first complete development. Play bishop d6. Offer the trade of bishops. Who is Carl and why is he bad? Yeah, it's a mystery.
For a year, squack.
Welcome back to Matt. Happy 11. Yeah, Carlsbad is like a town in Germany, right? There was probably a tournament that was played there and maybe some games in that tournament reaching the structure. So I do have a choice here to put the knight on f6 or e7. And there's pros and cons with both. The main pro of knight e7 is I allow for an eventual f6 and e5. I mean, knight f6 is like a more natural developing move, but yeah, I think I'll play this. And there is a possible way to play this position. Like if white castles, I could consider castling queenside and then just going like full attack mode with a pawn storm. Like I'm a little bit conflicted here. I think I'll start with f6. Like I'm keeping the option open whether to castle kingside or queenside, or maybe leave the king in the center. Is the light square bishop stronger than the dark square bishop? But bishop for which side? Actually, like both sides, if we look at this position, like both players have happy bishops. So the trade of dark square bishops, I think, is pretty neutral. Like it doesn't hugely benefit one side or the other. I mean, this bishop is definitely a more stable piece, more centralized compared to this bishop. Okay, so white's attacking a pawn. I think now it's time to castle. I could play rook b8, but I can take advantage of the fact that if takes the pawn, then I win back the b pawn. Yeah, this will probably go on YouTube. These sort of streams usually go on the extra channel. XSlam Extra. Post a longer form content there. But I think we've had a nice mix of like instructive games today. So rook b1. So white saw my idea and is defending the pawn, maybe threatening to take. I'm going to play a6. It's a tricky move. I'm still leaving the pawn hanging. But now if white takes the pawn, I'll be trapping the queen. Because there's no more queen a6. Okay, so that's reasonable. Now I have to deal with this pawn. I could offer the trade of bishops. I'm more inclined to be tricky. I'll play the move king h8. So if white takes the pawn, it's not check, and I have time to play f5 and kill the long distance relationship between the queen and bishop. And white took the bait. So wait, is it so simple though? If I play this, there is this move. which I kind of forgot about, but I think it's still okay. I also have g6, but then that allows g4. What if I take on f3? First take f5 there. Oh, wait a minute. I can take first? No, I can't take first, and because g6 just takes. Wow. So white called my bluff. And it was somewhat of a semi-bluff. All right, let's go for this. And the position does get pretty awkward for white. Thank you, Zen Fortitude. Yeah, this is actually turning into a really interesting position. Like, if white plays correctly, I don't know if I should be better, but yeah, it's just tricky. Like, sometimes against players like this, it's just a matter of waiting for them to blunder. And this move looked like a blunder, but it may have been taking advantage of my blunder. So, yeah, I mean, this is the only move to try and fight. And now, the move I want to play is this. Oh, thank you, Zen Fortitude. Gifting 5. Appreciate that. So I should explain my thought process here. The move I really want to play is this, but that allows takes, and I don't think it turns out well for black. I guess I could also... Nah. Yeah, I think I will play this. The risk of playing rook c8 is there's one less defender of f7. So now my bishop is tied down to holding on to my queen. And there is a crazy move for white to play queen d1, sacrifice the queen, but then win it right back. But I think the resulting position is okay, because I'll win the bishop and then I'll hit the knight. I should win a piece in that line. Thank you, Jan42. Oh, Jan42 paying it forward. So much gifting. Really appreciate the generosity. Okay, so white's counterattacking the pawn. Now I could take and attack the queen and defend the pawn. But then the position can get really messy. But, I mean, if I take, there's queen a4, and then I have to calculate. I think it's okay, though. Man, what a wild position. Like, it seems really fragile for black. Actually, both of our setups are very fragile. Like, for me, my pawn is vulnerable. There's this prospect. My knight, after the queen moves, my knight's going to be attacked. Bishop's a bit awkward. But for white, like, the bishop's constantly attacked. The knight's in my territory, not defended. For some reason, I didn't see this move coming, but my idea was to play queen f4 anyway. Because there's really not too many other options. Like, I can't afford to move the knight and lose a pawn. So let's play this. I'm pretty sure things are now under control, although I feel like it's easy to overlook things here. Actually, I still don't know what's going on, if white plays accurately. Yeah, that was a move I was most scared of, but I'm pretty sure I can take and play rook e8. Now, the bishop is no longer defended. But the issue becomes my knight will be counterattacked. And if I move my knight, I lose the f-pawn. And then I would be down 2 pawns. So I think I have to defend the knight. It's still not simple, though. Okay, let's defend the knight. I could have avoided all of this by just not allowing bishop takes h7 earlier. But we're getting a really interesting battle. I mean, a lot of the moves have been like very natural for white too. Like, opponent's doing what he needs to do. Okay, so this is a good sign. I was more a little bit concerned about rook e1. But I guess it's still interesting here. Start with rook e8. Wait, rook e8 takes check. Maybe I'll play rook f8. So the bishop is kind of pinned to the f2 pawn. It's like a weird type of pin. But it has to stay here blocking the battery. So we might see this move. Did I just miss? I should have at least considered rook e2 or bishop e2. But okay, there's a lot of pressure here. I'm wondering if I can play this move. Probably can. Yeah, so if takes, the calculation is takes here, here. Oh, did I miss? Oh, I may have missed something. Actually, maybe... I played this move based on a miscalculation. I was calculating here, 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 but there's queen f1. And I can't take the knight because I get mated. I'm pretty sure after takes, king h1, I have rook e2. And there doesn't seem to be a defense for white, apart from sacking the queen. Yeah, I don't think there's anything nefarious with this game. I mean, my opponent basically went into a sharp line that was confusing for both of us. And of course we can check with the engine, but I think they just played a good game for the rating. I assume bishop h7 was a mistake objectively. So yeah, please, I hope people in chat can behave themselves. It is unfortunate though. Like I've played a lot of players much lower rated who play good games, and then yeah, it's really not fair to accuse with like no evidence when clearly they're not. They're not using Stockfish this game. So we'll have time for probably at least one more game after this one. Yeah, we can analyze. So, I mean, rook e1 definitely was a major move. Wow, so I was actually in a lot of trouble. I didn't feel like I was in trouble though. Rook e1, I was gonna play queen. What was I gonna play? I was gonna play queen g5, I think. Bishop g. How does bishop g6 work? Bishop g6 takes. Oh, the queen's chased away. Wow. Okay, if my opponent could find like bishop g6 knight f3, then maybe it would be a different story. But and then going back, so bishop h7 was playable. Maybe it's already like questionable for white though. F5 was a mistake. Yeah, I considered g6. I didn't like g4 though. But I guess like white's kingside opens up a lot. Just lost judgment here. Yeah, because the g file or h file or both will open. Okay, so that's a good lesson for me. Handling these sharper lines. Overall, it was like a solid opening. But good game overall. Oh, welcome to Tonesburg. Watched so many YouTube videos. Finally here live. Playing mrtease. Okay, I'll play a ready. And we'll see what this leads to. I started playing the ready in Beal. And there's an opening I learned to play e3 in this position. Inspired by Hikaru. And the idea... Wait, what is the idea? After knight f6... Yeah, after knight f6, c4. So the idea is to avoid lines where black plays d4. And then I'll play a setup with b3. So there's a lot of like different move orders and transpositions. Black plays g6. We'll get a solid setup. Yeah, no berserking today. I played enough Blitz tournaments recently where I was berserking a lot, so way more chill today compared to previous days. Yeah, with the Bishop and Cathode, I think I just complete development first and see what black is up to. Of course, if I'm trying to win the tournament, like berserking's generally a good strategy for rapid, but I'm just trying to play good chess. Knight a6. Yeah, I'm trying to understand like what the overall plan is. Like I could commit to d4, I could delay d4, I can play knight c3. Yeah, maybe knight c3 first. It's like the most flexible. Then probably eventually d4. But maybe I still hold off, like queen c2. It's queen c2, rook e8. I'll play queen c2. I'm not scared of bishop f5 because then I have d3. What opening was this? This was a ready. Knight f3 on move 1. It's a slightly more like slow approach, but super, super solid. And a lot of players just don't like playing against it. It's hard for black to get any like active play so soon. And the setup for black is I mean the bishop on f5 and knight c7. I'm not sure how well they combine together. Like already I can strike with e4, which looks very appealing. Yeah, let's play e4. Because if takes, the bishop has to move. I'll get the d file. And maybe even e5 coming. Okay, if I play e5, there's knight d7. Yeah, maybe it doesn't lead to much. So I'm taking time here. Like the easy move to play is rook d1, but then after queen c8, still have to figure out what to do. I'm just looking for plans. Like e5 here, the pawn's a bit overextended. Queen e4, take. Like I'm looking for some way to gambit, but what are the other options? I really want to play e5 before black plays e5, but I think I'm coming to accept that black's going to get in this move. And black has idea of this knight maneuver. So I'm looking for ways to either slow down or prevent that plan. I can't take too long here. Like if I play knight e5, does that make any sense? Knight e5 offers a trade of bishops. Such a weird looking move though. But there's logic to it. I think I'll play knight e5. This is more of a preventive move than any sort of a aggressive move. But it's also very positional. Like I'm offering the trade of bishops.
Dos años.
Happy 2 years, mathletic-ish. So I'm basically not quite forcing the trade of bishops. I mean, black could move back, but this is expected. And then I can take with my knight. And the main point is I'm depriving black of this idea. I'm also just controlling d4 now with knight and bishop. And on top of that, I'm unleashing the f-pawn. So the knight's no longer in the way. So I could start with rook d1 or just play f4 right away. Because maybe black wants to play c5. So I could play c5 myself. Is interesting. But also f4, like f4, c5, rook d1, queen c7, f5. Yeah, let's start with f4. Okay, so I have f5 here. I'm not sure if I want to weaken the knight, though. Like, maybe now c5. Rook's coming to d8. But maybe, okay, maybe I play c5. Because now knight c5 is no longer possible. And if rook d8, I play f5. But then knight g5 is still a bit murky. I have to watch my time, too. There's a crazy idea to take on f7 and then play this. How does black defend there? There's b5, takes. It almost works, actually. Doesn't quite work. Queen c4 first. Let's play queen c4. Gotta move quicker. So now I'm probably threatening either this or this. If b5, I take king h1. If ever rook d2, I play this. Yeah, I think this is a big problem piece for black, this knight. Because now it's pinned to f7. And it's on the verge of getting trapped as well. Yeah, I was just about to say, there's a funny line starting with this, and then I have this takes. I do have to watch out for tactics against this knight, but black has issues to solve first. I forgot that was possible. Maybe now I can take. I'll start by taking. Man, it's still so tricky. Play knight g3. Maybe knight g3. So basically preventing knight e4. And really any knight move I can deal with. Now I can play queen f4. En passant also possible. But let's go for this. And now there's an idea, like if h6, I might have this move. Attacking the queen. So h6, knight g6 takes and then take. And then king goes and then take. Wins a pawn, but my knight's a bit awkward. But I am threatening this. I guess I could start with h4. But then there's this move. Having a hard time processing this position. That's also a move. Wait, but now I take the knight. Probably best. Just win material. Can I move back? There's knight. Knight d5. Take. Some other knight h5. I think I just take. Defend. So now I just have to cope with the time situation. The king's very likely to slide over. Probably want to go for a queen trade. If the knight ever moves, there might be these ideas. Okay. Yeah, let's simplify. Threading this. It's still not simple to win this with 55 seconds. Going after this pawn. And knight's coming here, though. Okay, what if I... trying something. If I select a pawn for some activity. Now, I'd like to get in rook g3 or take the pawn. I could have played rook a7 first, but then there was knight f6. Rook a7 is coming soon. I'll get this past pawn too. Okay. Okay. In good shape now. Oh, thank you to Mr. Alex Gweet. Appreciate the raid. I was not really looking at chat the last few minutes. Okay. Took a lot of work. I think the early middle game was pretty instructive though. Starting with this e4 break. Oh wow. Knight takes e4. Was completely oblivious to. I could have been in trouble.
Did not know lol.
Or did you? Welcome back, Foofy Kanoofy. Yeah, so e4 was just a blunder on my part. But black didn't find it. Played knight e5. And then... Wow, it really felt like I was better here, but maybe I just misjudged. My c-pawn was a bit weak. Queen a5, b4, queen b5. Wow. But eventually things got better for me. So, time for one more game. I've entered the top 100 in the tournament. Yeah, in hindsight, maybe rook d1 was a better move. Okay, final game. I'll play another different opening. English opening. English can transpose into d4 lines, can transpose into ready. I think we'll end up transposing into a... Nope, never mind. We'll have the floor Mikenas variation. And yeah, black is already playing slightly questionably. I mean, I have e5 for starters. I also have d4. Let's start with e5. Like the only safe square for the knight is to go back to g8. And now, yeah, now d4. I mean, there's a few different tempo moves. There's d4, queen g4, and knight e4. Like, they all make threats. But I like d4. Take over the center. And now I'm thinking queen g4. Especially, like, if I can provoke g6 and black ends up trading, then dark squares will be super weak. I'm keeping my dark square bishop. And really the only ways to defend the g7 pawn are to make some kind of concession, like g6, bishop f8, or king f8. Or just sack the pawn, okay. That's interesting. Take rook g8. I'm going to win 2 pawns. Maybe just 1 pawn, though. I really want to play knight e4, but that's not legal. So I'll play this move. And we're still in the opening phase. It still makes sense to develop. And now I'm probably threatening this. Wait, did I just allow... Oh dear. I really just allow that. Oh, I got too excited. I'm definitely not taking a draw. I think I can play this. I should not have allowed that. Oh, okay. I was expecting bishop e7. But this is nice. Okay. Yeah, if bishop e7, I would have had to like do something to avoid the perpetual. or avoid the repetition. I think I was going to play bishop g5 eventually. But don't have to worry about that anymore. I have this move. I have this move. I have this move. Different moves to consider. I think I'll play d5. Restricting development. Now h4 looks nice. Okay, so nice thing about this is I can play bishop g5 and there's never h6 from black. And I think I'll do that. Because black wanted to play this and this. But now it's so hard to win the pawn. And simple plan of castling, bishop d3. Keep the pace here. Oh, knight e5 might be coming. So I want to take, but maybe I should take first. Yeah, so I can take and play knight e4. What if trades bishops? Assume asking about this move. If bishop h6, I just leave the bishop here. Always happy to recapture with the pawn. And now I can win this pawn. Considering taking with rook, but there's some argument for that. If I take with knight, there's takes, takes, takes. Take with rook. I think that's just more dominant. And maybe there's other moves too. Wait. Playing the second move. I want to take with rook. So take, 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 king g8. King g8, f7, king f8. Maybe bishop d3 first. Knight e5, takes, takes. I don't want to take any unnecessary risks, though. So take, take, take. The more I'm looking at this, the more I'm liking taking with knight. Because after knight takes, I have bishop d3. And then the other rook will come in, and I won't be down material. Okay. We do trade. But here I'm up a pawn, and still a lot of pressure. What about takes, 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 takes? It might be coming. Takes, 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 takes. I need more things to take, though. Yeah, the other rook wants to join the party. So rook e8. Yeah, let's play rook e1. I'm in no rush to take the knights. Like, I'll only take if there's a clear winning line, which I didn't see. But now I see. So now there's takes, 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 takes. Or there's takes and fork. Might as well take here first. Yeah, too many ways to win material. I could have declined the sack with knight f6. Yeah, I can go back and analyze after the game. Oh, it's very close to mate. I mean, I could very simply win material, but I also can threaten mate in 3. And I don't see how black stops it. So I have this move. Always play f3. Someone earlier in chat said Ben Feingold would have sacked the exchange. But would Ben Feingold play f3? It's a pretty move. I'm threatening g4. Oh, but it's not threatening force mate. Because I miscounted. Oops. Or wait. I should have listened to Ben Feingold. I should have just taken the piece. Why I didn't do that? But am I still mating? Here, 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 here. No, rook f1, I lose a knight. What have I done? I mean, I can win another pawn. Let's win another pawn. I'm not proud of that. It's been a long tournament. I just miscounted the number of attackers and defenders. But now these pawns are weak. I'll win the old-fashioned way. Consume some pawns. Maybe g4 will become possible at some point. Maybe we'll see e5. Okay, the tournament's officially over. Okay, g4, take. Let's go after the knight. How did Eric do on late title Tuesday? I did better than the earlier title Tuesday. I finished with, I believe, 7 out of 11. Okay. Making progress. Yeah, so the way to orchestrate the checkmate, I need my king to control e4. And then I'm setting up f4 mate, which opponent annoyingly stops. B3. Take my pawn. I'm tempted to just take the knight, but okay, I'll take the knight. That way I can't get forked. Unless one of the pawns does the forking. Unlikely though. So I'm not super proud of this game. This was not a super clean game. There were just a few things missed. I mean, it's still an opening success, I think. But I want to show the funny line that could have happened in the opening. I gained a rating point from that. So if we go back, what black could have done was play bishop e7. And then if I want to avoid the repetition, I have to sack the queen. I think I was going to play bishop g5. And after takes, black can save the queen, but here there's interesting compensation. Like I would take here, knight can come in very soon. I assume white's still better. Oh, but bishop g5, h6. Wow. Yeah, so objectively, it could have been a draw. So knight f3 was actually a big mistake. It's a funny top move, c5, just blocking the bishop. Makes a lot of sense, though. What to do now? I mean, chat can tell me what to do. I might not listen, though. Scrabble. I played Scrabble yesterday. I had like a very close game against a bot. I lost by 3 points. GeoGuessr Blitz. If h6 went, would I take the bishop? Oh, in this line. If I take the bishop, then yeah, it's a bit different because I'm not winning the rook compared to the other line. Black's okay here. React to daily newspaper comics. So many possibilities. Battle Royale. I haven't played that in a while. Not sure if that's still a thing. Maybe it's still possible to play. Goodbye to Pizza Racer. It has been a lot of chess. We're at the 2.5 hour mark. Some requests for duck chess. Tic-tac-toe. I could do Chessel. Let's do Chessel. Chessel is like the Wordle of chess. I do this every so often. So the way this works, we have to guess the opening. It's 5 moves. Basically 5 moves. And I usually like to start with this, just a series of some of the most common moves. And let's see what this leads to. Oh, okay. So we got a king's pawn, knight f3. It's not the elephant gambit. I assume knight c6 will be played here. Probably a Roy Lopez. I wonder if it's just a Spanish main line. Bishop a4. Although it's not going to be a Spanish main line because black isn't castle. Or black isn't playing knight f6. So it could be some d6 line. But white's not playing d4. I wonder if it's a Schliemann. Like f5, d3, take. But then knight f6 is still the main line. So I don't think it can be a Schliemann. Unless it's like this one, like knight c3. No, but knight c3 is not played. Okay. So let's go with a6 and maybe d6. This is a Steinitz. And castle and bishop d7. And if this isn't right, at least we got some common moves. Oh, man. Oh, it's not... Wait. It's not a Spanish? Oh, is it Ponzi? No, it can't be Pon... Oh, maybe it is Pon... No, it can't be Ponziani. Because white's not playing d4. And black's not playing d5. Oh, it could be an Italian. I don't know why I assumed it's Spanish. It's probably an Italian. Bishop c5, c3. But it's not knight f6. Can't be a Scotch. Bishop c4. Could be Evans Gambit. It's maybe Evans Gambit. But the thing is, Evans Gambit, there's... Oh yeah, it's probably this line. Do we have any repeat moves? I don't think we do. There we go. Okay. Yeah, it could not have been a 4 knights because my first guess included all 4 knight moves. And yeah, bishop a5 is not the only move. Like there's bishop e7, there's bishop d6. But bishop a5 is the main line. So, I think it's time to wrap things up. It's time to find some food. Time to work on some YouTube content. Yeah, the hour is upon us. I do appreciate everyone tuning in. Got some nice instructive chess today. I'm going to send the raid to a grandmaster who only has 5 viewers. Hopefully we can send some more energy. This is Grandmaster Caden Trofe from Utah. Looks like he's doing some kind of challenges. So send some good vibes. Oh, and thank you, Noah's Chess. First stream I've ever watched in full. Appreciate that. Yeah, I'll be back soon. What's today? Today's Thursday. So tomorrow's Friday. So maybe I'll be back tomorrow. All right. Adios.